Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. We're still working on the old owl here, and we're trying to get it to fly. I worked and done some more, but what I want to do is I'm going to talk to you more. These are, yeah, my brain just went south here. The secondaries here is what we put in here, and that's what these are called, this last grouping here. And then the final grouping is your wing feathers, which are the primaries, and I'm going to show you how to bring them out. And then I'm going to try to have all of this burnt, and I'll show you again what we're doing in that area, just to reinforce what we've done already on this. So we're going to try to get all of the feathers in the bird's wings. We got like I said, these are the primaries down here. These are the secondaries up here. I got to get a little more official on what they call these different parts of the wing. So we'll try to finish this up, and I'm going to try to show you how to do that. And then eventually we'll get to the tail. I think I want to jump back to the head because we still have to do these in the back, and I'll show you how to do that probably on the next video. I don't want to give you everything all at one time. So we're going to try to clear these up, or clean these up, and then we'll start on the primaries, they're called, which is this last grouping down in here. So bear with me, and we'll take you on the journey to keep on moving on this, and pretty soon we'll have them flying pretty soon. Okay, so hang in there. I just remembered one other thing I want to try to get across to everybody. I've had people trying to locate my email address so that they can contact me for different things, the kits or catalogs or whatever you may need. And I have emails that are associated. If you look under like the description for me, when you first go in and get once you subscribe, you can just go in and see some of the background on me. It gives a write-up of it, and at the very end is an email address. And in every video I do, if you could get into the description end of it, because not only do I put the video out, I give you a description, and then I tell you what's part of the video, what I'm actually doing within it verbally. And then I also put my email address in there if you have any questions. And apparently this is not showing up on the videos, or at least part of it. You got to do a little bit of a search to try to find out some of the statements I make in there. And I'm thinking that's being published, and it's not. So I'm going to give you my email address in case anybody wants to contact me or send me pictures of things that they're working on, or if you have a problem, I'll gladly discuss it with you. And my email it's Rauscher. It's R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, at, Frank, let me do that again. Boy, I'm getting tongue-tied here. It's Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 at gmail.com. So if you're ever in need of anything, or you have questions on what I've given you and you're a little confused or something like that, I try to put this into the body of the description of the video, and it's not always showing up, I think. And a lot of people are having a hard time trying to get in contact with me. And my email address is not popping up. I do have catalogs that I could email out to you and stuff like that if anybody's interested. And it's just a few pages of items. And if you're interested in any of the tools I have, I sell them. I have patterns, kits, feet, eyes, things like that on a lot of different birds. And if you're interested in any of that, I will get that out to you. And it's just a matter of contacting me. And hopefully, I wish my email address was out there more. It's not. And so, again, it's Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. So anybody wants to get in touch with me, please do. And if you do contact me and you want to talk, I'll give you my telephone number out there too. And we can converse and see if there's anything I can help you out with. And a lot of times when it comes to equipment and stuff like that, if you have certain things, I'm going to recommend you use what you have and not buy everything. But I will tell you what I think is essential, but you don't always need everything. So just want to let you know that. So I hope this is helpful to people that have been trying to get a hold of me. If you put a comment in the comment section of the video about getting back to me or how do you get a hold of me, I will definitely get back to you on that. So just to let you know. So we're going to proceed on with the owl, and I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Okay? So hang loose. Okay. What I want to try to accomplish now is I want to prepare for these feathers right down at the end here, which is this last grouping that's going to fall in here. It's this area right in here, and I'll shade that a little bit for you. And this one here, right in here. And what I want to do is prepare this surface. And I went over this on the last video, but I want to try to get you to step this down a little bit more in here. I had mentioned before, this owl was squared up and had like a ridge line running down this way and this way. And I had asked you to round this over. So we're going to do a little bit more, but I don't want to go banging into what we already did as far as the work. So I'm going to turn on, and I'm using the fat flamed ruby to undercut this. And I'm going to come in and get the point right up to the burn without touching the burn. And I'm trying to lower this a little more than what we would normally do for these feathers. So we're going to go a little deeper. Oh, and there's another thing too. This side here, when we were doing this side, this is on top. This is on the bottom. And what I mean by that, these feathers are laying over these. So you have to give the illusion that these are down further and not flat across, okay? And if I didn't really go at that, I want you to come in here and step this down more, okay? And you need to get it down far enough that this looks like it's going under it, okay? And you can see how the feather comes around, stops short, doesn't have a full turn. That's because it's we're given the illusion that it's underneath. So, but you also need to level this down just a little bit through here, okay? Especially right in this area right here. And You want to do that before you mark out your feathers and then stage them down with the burner. And then we start burning them in. So that's a definite. You want to get some lift in there. And here, and I'll even just come in with the what's the name? The fat flame. And what you would do is just, I'm going to go right over my burn here, just to show you. I'm taking that down. Okay, not like you're going to really deep, but you need to get the staging to look like it went down under. So it's right along this line right here. And so I'm redoing this again for you so you can see it. Here's my feather here, and it comes around. It stops right there. Then this one is going to come around, and it's going to come right about to this length over here, if these were equal, going across. And then it turns, and it comes in here. Let me make this look a little right there. And then this last one is coming around here. And it's, if you had like a line going across here, these would be equal. And I'm coming around like this. And then this last one is just piggybacking off of the end there. So you definitely want a good enough step down here and here. But we need to get a little more depth along here. So what I'm going to do, I just went in and lost some of my burn. Remember, we penciled this in. We'll come back and we'll pencil this in again and then burn it in again like this. And then I want to come in here. And follow that burn. Remember, I only do like half the feather, and then it allows me to reposition my burning pen so I can make a nice arc around. So, because, and it just takes a little bit of practice. And I try to go halfway, and then I come in, and I don't want to go ramming into the existing burn, so sometimes I'll stop short and then come around and plug it in again. And then the last one here, I'm going to come right in and turn that right in there. So now what I'm going to do is proceed on to what I was just doing, and that is to lower out here. So I'm going to come back in here. Okay. Now, I know we have a corner here, and there's a corner over here. So what I'm going to do is roll this so I can get this rounded over. Not a lot, but you know, just enough. You'll see. Because once we start marking the feathers out on here, you'll see where this is going to narrow in anyway. So I'm undercutting right on up to the feather grouping. And then I want to get this corner right here, which is just like this here, except that we're trying to round it over. Okay, and as long as we have don't have a bump, because we want deep in here. I need you to have this look like it's sloping down nicely. Okay. And if it gets a little bumpy, and I'm looking at my profile in here, and there's a bump right in here because I want deep up here, I'm going to take that down. And I go with this back and forth motion. And I got my finger on here because I'm not doing this just haphazardly. I'm always gauging how my bit is cutting. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit more off. And you have a profile something like this, okay? It's not perfect, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Fat Flame Ruby out. I'm going to plug in my mandrel with the sandpaper. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the surface for the burning as well as lifting of the feathers and smoothing this out. Remember, anytime we're doing burning, you want to make sure that your surface is nice and smooth. And if it has some rough edges, you could probably sand that out with a light touch and get the surface real nice and smooth so that you have a nice surface to, undercut as well as burn. Okay, so I'm trying to get any of the dings out that may have occurred. And I think we're there now. That looks pretty smooth to me. And I don't want to create more edges, so I think we're in good shape there. Now, if you noticed on the pattern, there is some separation out here. And I would say, get my ruler here. I'm going to put that center line that we have down here. I'm going to continue that on up to there. And that's a continuation of this. And then if we come out, maybe about 7 millimeters to the right, or I should say left, and about 5 millimeters to the right, that's where we want to have these feathers sort of pop out. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mimic this feather over here. So I'm going to start this, and they're coming like in an angle like this. So I'm going to take this one out. It's a small one. And then I'm going to turn. And just to give you an idea how far out I came, again, with the millimeters, it's probably about 5 millimeters out, which is roughly what I have there. So I came out 5 millimeters this way. So I'm trying to draw this in. Then I turn. Looks like it's about 5 millimeters wide. And I turn. And then turn in this direction. It's sort of, see how these feathers before it, we already have in here? It's going in that, well, I should say this here. It's going in that direction. So we've got this coming around like that. Now, what we don't want to do is come across the center line because it stops short of it. So the next one is piggybacking off, and that looks like about, let's see, about 5 millimeters also. So I'm going to draw this about 5 millimeters from here to here. Turn this. Excuse me. And then I'm going to send this one maybe about 2 or 3 millimeters off of this one down this way, all going in the same direction. Okay, let's hope I do this correctly now. And then there's another one right here, and that's a little longer. So that one looks like it's about 7 millimeters down. So I'm going to take that down to here. Let me see how I did it on my original one. Yeah, I get pretty close. So I'm coming down about 7 millimeters from here down to here. Well, maybe I'm getting a little long here. Let me just come right in here. A lot of times I eyeball it rather than measure, but it's good to measure. And then you're going to be about a couple of millimeters off of this one. So this is going to slide up this way. They're all going in the same direction. They're all going like this. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got to get 5 in here. And I think I'm making this just a little too big. Let me back this off. I'm going to turn right here. Then I got another one that peeks in right here. And this one's a short one. This looks like about maybe 3 millimeters. And we're going to slide down and keep about 3 millimeters all the way down. All the way down like that. Okay. And then the last one is probably about 3 millimeters, which is piggybacking off of that one, which is right here, which takes you right to the edge just about. If you left that much material, hopefully you have it. If not, just cheat a little bit, make it work into that. So it does look like this. And then what we're going to do is take about 3 millimeters, and it's going to keep on sliding down away. Okay, from this line, and you're coming down like so. And then let me just heavy that up so you can see what's happening here. Right on up to here. Now what I'm going to do, we have some material down here, and I'm going to make this like one more feather that's coming right off of this and sliding right down, so it utilizes this point down here. Okay, we're going to create, so you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will be the 6th feather, and it's going to come back up and looks like it goes under this one right here, okay, which is this. And you can see some of it here. Okay, I hope that's not confusing. So we already established this run early in the game, just like we did here, which is this. Okay, so whatever's left over, we're going to just tuck it in under there. Now, we have this side done. Now we got to go to the other side. So I said, we're going to do the same thing coming this way now. And we're about from the center line over, here it is, center line over, about 5 millimeters over. And then I'm going to start drawing similar feathers on this side. So I'm going to come out here. And I'm going to try to act as if I got a line going straight across, perpendicular to the center line. And that's how far I want to take this one out. So this is going to come out here, equal to this one, and then turn, and then go back down that way. You're aiming that way now. So this comes around like this. Then the next one, it's coming, piggybacking off of this one. And it's coming down. And you could, if you drew a line straight across, that's about how far down you want to come. And then this goes about 3 or 4 millimeters off of this line in the same direction. Then you have this one down here. So I'm going to come down here, piggyback off of here, so that these look symmetrical almost, okay? And then I'm going to shoot about 3 millimeters apart from here to here, or maybe 4, and take that over there. So we're trying to make this the same on either side. Then we got one more that tucks in here, right here. And it never gets to the center line, okay? If you see it here, these do not touch the center line. So we got this one here, comes down, and then let me turn this around. I hope I'm not confusing here. It's just easier for me to draw. And about 3 or 4 millimeters off of this line, you come down this way, and then you join up this way, like so. Okay? And take your time. You know, I've been doing this, and bringing the feathers in seem easy to draw, but maybe some people have a problem drawing. Now, one of the problems I just did is you can see my thickness from the distance from here to here is different than down here. I got wider as I came along, and you want to try to be consistent. So I'm going to go back. This is some of the things you tend to run into when you're drawing sometime. So I'm going to erase this out. I'm going to show you what you can do and you don't realize it. I'm bringing this one in. I'm just putting these back because I almost erased them out. The distance from here to here, it turns here, and I want to keep that distance the same all the way down. Okay? You don't want to get really flared out over here and then bring it back in. It's all one straight shot, and you don't arc so much. Okay? And you may have to practice that. Now, I'm going to go for the last one down here, and that piggybacks off of here, right here. And here's where I want to try to maintain the same distance, which is about 3 or 4 millimeters right off of here. If I just follow this line back in here like this, that's the line of action I want to maintain. Now, I want to join up with this, but I don't want to flare this all the way out and back. I want to cut this in tight and get it right in here. You don't want to get real fat right at this corner. That's what I did when I did this one up here. So I adjusted that and brought it back. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one will come right underneath this one, as if like it's laying underneath, and come down right onto the edge here. So that'll make your 6th one. Okay? So you got them now. So what we want to do is we want to burn these in, okay? So I'm going to get my pen. And it only takes seconds on these machines to get hot, but I want to try to get them there. So I usually give it a second or two. They heat up pretty fast. And then I take that back. Now for these long runs, and you're button up to these other ones, I'll usually go this way, at least for starters. I'll lay that out. I find it coming this way is a good start. Now I'm going to piggyback off from here, go halfway on the arc. I find that doing it this way, I keep the shape of the loop and not get into a point or something like that. They're not pointed feathers, okay? So I'm going to come back here again. I'm going to lay this right in here on the pencil line, and I'm tracking right on through up to where it starts turning. Then I'll come back here, and I'll lay that right in and go halfway. Then I'll go the other half this way to there, okay? And then we do it again. Just a repeating of the same steps, basically. Okay. So I lay that down, track it right on up. And I find I could stay on top of the line pretty good. I'll turn it halfway, and then I'll go the other half. Turn it, and then want to join up with the straight run right there. And then we got the last one, so it's on edge, so you got to be careful here. I lay this right on the pencil line. Drag that up. All the way up. Now, because it's getting close to the edge, I just take my time. Now I'm going to come here on this one, and it just makes the edge. I mean, we're close here. Like I said, if you have to shorten it up a little bit, you can do that too. And then this last one wants to come up and join up. So I'm just going to burn in a line that's going to join up with this one. Let's see if I could do this. That's satisfactory to you. Just like that. Okay, it's not the cleanest one, but we have this lifted edge, so we're going to work to that one. Then what we want to do is do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to ask you to do that, and I'm going to proceed on to try to show you how to handle this, okay? I'm going to go in, either you have a bullet, which is the diamond bullet, which is pointed, or I go in with the flame tip ruby. I'm running my machine full speed. I'm going to undercut this top feather here. So I'm going to come in here. Let me get my optimizers on so I can see better, so I know what I'm doing. I'm seeing what I'm doing, so I'm coming around. Now, so if you all can see this well, Now, the thing is, that's happening here is, there's separation in here. If I can show you one that's sort of finished, there's a big opening in here. So that line of action, this wing coming down, we're going to really cut through it. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this ruby flame, and I'm going to try to stay away from this line work over here and the burn. And because we have separation underneath here, we're gonna go through that, but you don't want to lose your burn. You're trying to get it right on edge. In fact, let me do this. I'm gonna get this bit out a little bit further, just so I could get in there better. And I'm gonna lay this. I'm pressing right on through. Now I don't want to drive it into the what I would call the tail, but you want to open that up. Okay. And you can come right up to these guys without banging into them. Now this is a wider area, and I wouldn't keep on going with this one, trying to open that up. So I'm just trying to see what would be a better bit to get in there, just open that up. If you use a tungsten carbide, see, it's just too big, and it would probably rip a lot of things apart. So I'm going to try something here. I'm going to try maybe with the pointed ruby, the fat one. See, this is the thinner one, and this is the fatter one. So I'm going to try to get that one in there. See if that won't help you a little bit. Now, I should have burnt the other side, but I did. But I'm going to try to at least get to the middle of the feather here. See, I drive that in. And what I'm doing is I'm getting close to these feathers here. And I would have burnt these in before I started this, but I did. So I'm trying to maneuver around them without doing it. So I'm cutting in here just to open this up a little bit, like so. And I don't want to lose these guys, and I'm getting close. So I've got a good amount out of there, so I'm going to go straight down, and I'm getting too fat now with that. There are other bits that are available out there, which is like these here are tungsten carbide bits that are real thin, and you could get them and drive that right on in too. Okay, that's another way. But I'm going to try to show you with just minimal amount of bits. I'm going back to my smaller ruby flame. Okay. Now that it's got it open, I'm just going to go down a little bit more. Almost to the point that I'm breaking through underneath here without gouging below that. Now, I'm going to undercut this feather that I burned in, the top one, this one right there. And I want to lift these I'm going to come around this way. Then I'm going to do the next one down. And I almost flatten the bit so that I come along and I'm actually flatten the whole surface as I come through here. And then I turn to get that lift right at the end here. So I can come around like so. Okay. Then I go to the next one. I'm going to clean this up. I see it. And you got to really steady yourself. This is really in tight. Running my bit right along the burn, because your burn acts as a stop. That's what we're trying to do. And I'm cleaning them out. Now sometimes when you're grinding, you can see I'm losing some of my burn there. So let me do this last one here. And I'm going to go back in just to reinforce that, because I don't want to lose that. So I'm going to come back in on the burnt lines I have. And this will help sometime in acting as a stop, so that when your bit is grinding, it'll grind right up to that burnt. And that's what we call like the stop. So I'm coming in here, and I'll even come around just to make it sharper. Right around. And this will get you, see, I was almost losing this feather right here. Not losing, but I'm losing the burn. So I got to go down in there some more with the bit, but I don't want to lose the shape. And we come out right to the end. Okay. I think we got it. Okay. And burning it in, it really aids you a lot in controlling where you're going and how much you're taking out. Because it's like when you're using a knife, a lot of times you would plunge the knife down to make a stop. And in the case of burning, the burn actually acts as a stop. Now I'm going to round this corner very lightly. Now, this is really rough in here. And let me try to get the pencil to show you this. Here's your pencil line here. Right there. I'm going to try to darken that up as best I can. And then I'm going to lose some of this material just so it looks like it's gliding up to this feather. So this last part here, I'm taking some of this material off. And as we get down to here, I'm going to undercut a little bit, just like we did originally. Let me go this way. So this edge is going to cruise up and look like it goes under this last feather. And that's what I'm trying to get. We have extra material down here. So what I did is I undercut it this way just to go back right where this whole swing was coming up here. Right up in and under the feather. Okay, and then we take that material off. So this looks like it's tucking in under this last feather we created. Now, here's another thing we need to do. Here's our line of action here. We're coming down. And I want to open this up because we're going to have to get tail feathers in here. I don't want to take any material off on the top side, so I'm going to drive my fling down into this section here. So watch me here. I'm going to lay this bit more leaning towards the tail. So I'm going to undercut right through here. I know I'm digging into the tail, but that's what I want to do. I want to open this up, and then I drag this bit this way. The peeling opening, and I don't know if you guys can see that opening. I now have a channel that gets in under this feather grouping that we just created that's stuck out here. I'm going to come in under here and just soften that underneath side. Okay. Now, I'm not going to accomplish all of the burning on this one because it's going to take some time to create all this video. So what I'm going to do is give you a portion of it here, but I want to finish this grouping so that you could do the same thing on this one. Now, we have this coming around here. Now, this one is coming around, and it's starting to lose its edge. But what I want you to do is, instead of coming right up and button up to this, I'm going to bring a line down a little lower. Okay, and then this one that came up and around, I'm going to bring that line down a little lower so that you have like a wall that's going back a little bit here. And I'm going to do that for this one here too. I hope you can see this. Get my finger out of the way here. This is coming back in here, and then this one will come back in here. Now what I'm going to do, and maybe the burn will show better, I'm going to burn this in right here. Again, just so you can see it. Right through here. That's the top feather. Now the second one came off of here, and what I'm going to ask you to do is go a little lower, up, like that. And then you come from this one and go just a little lower to there. Okay. And then this one will come down and go a little lower. And then the last one will be down under there. So these lines are dropping down slightly, very slightly. So I'm going to try to clean them up with the flame. I'm going to come in here and sort of this wall we have going down, I'm going to try to go underneath these feathers. And you have to have your bit out a little further than normal. So I don't know how much further I can go out on these. Don't want to push them out too far because I still button up against the tail here. So I'm going to just undercut slightly to give the illusion that all these feathers are turning under there. But I still have to clean this out. I will show you how to do that on the next video. So it looks like each one of these is turning and going underneath each other, and it looks like it has some thickness to it. So if you could do this much on both sides, then we'll pick it up on the next video, and I'm going to show you at that point in time how to clean all this up, because you have to burn this side in and then stage them down just like I did these, and this one and this one and this right on edge and this right on edge, and then try to clean this out as best you can. The flame, the small flame, will probably get you down here so that you don't bang into these. And if you have another bit, and you got to watch, because the thinner you get, I have like diamonds that are like needles, but they tend to grab. So the flame is probably a little more forgiving, or even using the bullet shape diamond. This may be even better to come in here to clean that out. And I'm going to try that on the next video. Now, I have not finished the burning in here, and I haven't finished the burning in here. So I will try to complete that. And remember, you have a quill on this side, which you put in. It's like for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to have a quill over here on this one that goes this way, because this is pulling in this way, and then you got a quill here and a quill here, and we'll stick one more right there. So you got to burn the quill in here, and then you also have a quill back here, here, and here, and you could see it over here. We burnt these in, so you may have done that already, or maybe not. So let me stop at this point in time on the video so that you can accomplish this much down here. Now, if you don't get a nice rollover or something that doesn't look like it's bumping up and down, what you may want to do is come back and lower these just a little bit so that they look sleek looking, okay? And you usually have enough material within the bottom of the feather to the top, so you can bring this down a little bit. Remember that edge we always talked about that's riding down through here? Sometimes it shows itself up, it's a ugly head up, and still has this going up and over. You don't want that. This is a straight shot the back, okay? So see what you can do on that. I'm going to try to clean this up on the next video, have this one burned in, and then I'm going to show you how to relieve this side just the same way I did here, where we stepped in the burn lines to give the illusion that these are coming around, okay? And then we'll finish up both sides, and we'll try to clean up everything on the next video. So hope you got something out of this one. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you would subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that. And if you have any friends that may be interested in doing this, have them get a hold of my channel, and I'd appreciate it if you can pass that information on. And the other thing that I showed you on the last video, you could see how all this got dusted in. I'm going to try to show you again. This is a horsehair brush, or they even have them softer than this. It's horsehair into a mandrel, and I run it a little less than full speed. And when we go to finish this and we start painting, you have dust all throughout. I created a lot of dust in here because of every time I go to burn, that dust gets in here. And I'm going to show you something, how fast this will clean up when you run this. You run it about half speed, and when I do this, everything brightens up. I don't know if this is visible on camera here or not, but you can see how brighter that is to that side because it still has dust. We'll do all of this anyway to clean up and get the dust out. I'm going to do this side now. See how bright that side is compared to this side? Watch this now. I'm going to come in. We'll just run this through, and it gets all of that dust out of there. And that, even up in here, we don't even realize we got the dust in here. That'll brighten this up as well as everything. So that's something we got to do, is to clean up the act afterwards, but we're not worried about that right now. But you can see how much brighter that is, and I could see I didn't get everything. There's still some dust in there as well, but it really brings out the burn, and what it's doing is allowing you to show the detail better, okay, and not have all the dust into it. So hope you got something out of it. I'll see you on the next video. And if anybody wants to get a hold of me, my email address again is Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. And hope to see you on the next video. Bye now.